A Star is Born opens in theaters this weekend, so I hope you've got your tiered buckets out because you are going to need them. This is directed by Bradley Cooper. It's his directorial debut and co-written by Cooper, Will Fetters, and Eric Roth. He also co-stars along with Lady Gaga, and it features a cast ranging from Sam Elliott, Dave Chappelle, Andrew Dice Clay, and Anthony Ramos, who was in Hamilton, makes an appearance in this movie as well as Gaga's best friend. This is the fourth version of the film, including the 1937 original, which is the movie that frankly made me love movies. So this had big shoes to fill, and boy does it. This is a classic Hollywood film about the perils and joys of celebrity, fame, but also it's about being swallowed alive by fame and the desire for it. And of course, it's about addiction and the nature of addiction, chemical, emotional, and the addiction that we all have to our own narratives about who we are in the world, our egos. If that's not enough for you, it's a movie that deals with storytelling and sort of like just the desperate desire we have as human beings to be seen and felt, and how when we find it, even if it's only for a moment, with one relationship, we will chase that dragon to the end of our days. So this is the story in a nutshell. Bradley Cooper plays a very famous musician who falls in love with a waitress who has a voice to die for. And of course, as his star falls, hers ascends. It deals with the idea that you can't outshine your partner, especially sometimes for a lady, but also for gentlemen, and the dangers of that interplay in a relationship. So the crux of this movie is that relationship. It's the fact that they are searching desperately for authenticity, and the only place they find it, these tiny little moments, are with each other, but the rest of their lives are filled to the brim with being so famous that everything is managed for them, who they are in the world, who they are to themselves, who they are to each other, and eventually that just corrodes what they have. So it plays with fame, even in the casting of Chappelle and Andrew Dice Clay. These were hugely famous guys in their respective comedic careers, pardon me. And the movie expects you to understand, especially who Dave Chappelle is, because when he shows up and he dispenses his wisdom to Bradley Cooper, you need all of that history about who Dave Chappelle is in the world and his own feelings about fame in order to get that message through. That said, Bradley Cooper directs this movie like he's doing just what he is, conducting and playing first chair at the same time. Gaga is a force of nature. She's a revelation in this movie, of course, but he also knows how to play directly into her strengths. He strips her down so that her fame isn't shaded at all. It is raw, it is undeniable, and it is so seductive. We fall in love with her just as his character Jackson does. And that's why this movie works. It has to happen that way. In order for the movie to work, we have to fall for Allie. So he manages to let her shine while delivering one of the best performances of his own career. Now, people are going to tell us to be cautious while talking about award season, but let's talk about award season, because this is going to be all over the conversation, and it deserves to be. It may get eschewed a little bit by some other films, and the fact that it is, at its heart, a melodramatic romance, and it's a story that we've seen a lot before. But that doesn't mean that it's a story that doesn't deserve retelling. The reason that A Star is Born works again and again and again is because these archetypes are true to life. They hit on things that are very, very real. And with that in mind, each retelling says something about what that generation thinks about fame. Gaga goes to a place that is frankly very Gaga-like, very designed in her fame, very controlled in her fame, very disconnected to who she is at the heart of what her artistry was when he met her. And the story is also about her finding her way back to herself, even as she loses Jackson. I think for me, the thing that encapsulates what this movie does so well is in the cinematography of Matthew Libatique, who's frankly a genius. It captures the essence of the film. It's natural, relatable, and it's lyrical and larger than life all at once. This is a movie that, for most of us, will leave you ugly crying in the theater, and you're gonna love every moment of it. There's structural issues there. The second half moves a lot faster than the first. But at the end of the day, I walked out of this movie feeling exactly the way I wanted it to make me feel. It stayed with me for days later. I'm going to go see it again and again. I cannot recommend this movie enough. I think men are going to like it a lot more than they think that they will, frankly. I think Bradley Cooper and his performance will be very, very relatable for a lot of people. And this is a Gaga that you have never seen before. So give it a chance. If you're on the fence, I think you might like what you see.